Democrats. Today is Wednesday, November 30th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Life. Happy Wednesday. It's the last day of November, last day of Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month. A lot of stuff happened in November, but today there are two things in particular I want to talk about. First, I want to celebrate Representative Hakeem Jeffries as being the first Black person to lead a party in Congress. Congratulations, Representative Jeffries, in winning to be the leader of the minority caucus in Congress. Yay, hurrah. Part of it's yay, hurrah. Part of it is, I think it's crazy that it's 2022. It's the end of 2022 before we've had a Black person lead Congress in the United States, but it's happened, so yay. Now, what I was going to talk about before that historic moment, and I think, you have to take a pause and acknowledge the historic moment, was the craziness that is happening in our state, where up is down and down is up. So last night is when I learned about it. Our current governor, who shall remain nameless, our current governor announced that he is moving the Division of Terrorism, moving it from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, or the OSBI. He's moving it from the OSBI to the Department of Public Safety. He's moving the investigation of terrorism in our state from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety. And that goes into effect on January 3rd. Just for people who don't keep up with all the government offices, that we just throw out these labels and all that kind of stuff, let me remind you of who the Department of Public Safety is. That's who issues driver's license. That's who issues state IDs, and that's who issues the travel ID now that you can use. Now they're the ID people. That's who the Department of Public Safety is. They're the people where you get your driver's license, your permit, your ID. Now, they're also going to be the people over investigating terrorism in our state. Now, let me just refresh your memory. For those of you who don't have teenagers, the backlog at the Department of Public Safety is at a level that it hasn't been in the time since I've been able to drive. You have to make an appointment in advance. And then you have to get up early at 6 o'clock in the morning and wait in line to be one of the people who can drive for the day. And if you miss it, you don't get to drive. You have to keep going back. It is not our most efficient department in our state. I'm not slamming the people who work there. I am just stating facts. It takes forever. They have created so many hurdles that they've made backlogs now, where people, just in the month of November, in my Facebook feed, and I don't have kids who need driver's license. I have no need to go to the Department of Public Safety. My driver's license is up to date. My tag on my car is up to date. No need to go over there. But people have been flooding my feed with lines of them having to wait to get refresh their driver's license because it's expired, or to get a new tag for their car because it's expired. They're having to wait in line. They're having to make appointments. They're having to go and come back. But that's who's going to be investigating terrorism. Additionally, if you've watched my live ever, you know that I've complained about the fact that the people of Oklahoma voted so that we could register to vote online, and that we have not held up that promise. The reason that I've been given on my multiple inquiries to the folks in charge is because the Department of Public Safety can't get their computer system to link to the voters registration file. That's a thing that's already been voted on by the people. So we can't register to vote online because we somehow can't figure out how to make that link. But that's the same department that we've decided is going to be able to investigate terrorism in our state. Here's the reality. We prioritize what's important to us. And I think that the governor moving the investigation of terrorism to the Department of Public Safety, the folks who issue our IDs, who are having organizational difficulties at this moment, is saying that he doesn't take the investigation of terrorism seriously. That's what happens. It's like when you invite people over for Thanksgiving and you ask them to bring cups. It's because you'll be okay if they don't bring the cups. You'll be okay if they can't swing it. And I think that that's what he's deciding about the investigation of terror. He's giving it to folks who have too much on their plate right now. And again, I mean no disrespect to the people of the Department of Public Safety. They have a job to do, and they have whatever hurdles that they have, and they're having trouble doing the job that they're assigned to do now. And now we're going to give them the investigation of terrorism. I don't even know what that takes, but I bet it's harder than issuing a driver's license. That's all I'm going to say. He has told us what he thinks about the investigation of terrorism. It's not that important that we get it right. That's our governor. Another kind of crazy thing that that's so crazy is our U.S. senator who's been in his position for the longest at this point, and that is Senator James Lankford, because he has been reelected, and effective June 3rd, he will be our longest tenured U.S. senator. He put out a tweet yesterday because of the historic vote for the Protection of Marriage Act. Let's put that up. I'm going to read it to you, not because I don't think you can read, but just for ease. He put, the Respect for Marriage Act isn't about equality. It's about making some people's rights more important than others. I voted against this bill because it will lead to violation of Americans' constitutional right to live their faith. I don't even know what that means. I've been struggling all day to figure out what code word he's sending. The Respect for Marriage Act says that if someone wants to marry someone who is not of the same race, we respect it no matter what state they're in. The Respect for Marriage Act says that if a gay or lesbian couple marries in Oklahoma, that their marriage will be respected if they go to Utah. It's a no-brainer, and it really should be something that we're not even fighting against. But what he's saying is, if he would have voted for that, that would have violated some people's religion. I'm not real sure. If it is against your religion in your made-up way for a person of this race and a person of this race to get married, the easiest way for you to not violate your religion is don't participate in that marriage. These two people over here getting married doesn't violate my rights, doesn't violate my faith. Those people getting married doesn't violate my faith. And they don't violate Langford's faith unless his faith is just to be ugly and mean to people that aren't like him. Those are the only choices, is that he believes it to be a violation of his faith if people he doesn't think deserve to get married gets married. And if that's his faith, I think he needs to rethink who he is, and we need to rethink who we elect in this state. Gay marriage affects his constitutional rights to acknowledge his faith. That's the guy that this state reelected. It makes me exhausted, and I'm done trying to figure it out. My job is to make sure everybody knows the stuff that I know that's going on in local politics. So you know that our U.S. Senator put his foot down. He didn't just vote against it, but he voted against it and made sure that we knew the stupid, bigoted reason he voted against it. And so it's just my job to make sure you guys know, because it's ridiculous and it's bigoted, and that's not who I want representing me. But that's where we are. And I want you to know, and we have to push back on it in every quarter, everywhere we see it. Everywhere we see that the people that we care about are being discriminated against, we have to raise our voices against it in support of those people that we care about. There are people that I care about who are married to someone of not the same race. There are people that I care about who are married to someone of the same gender. I respect their right to be in those unions, and I do not believe that them being in those unions somehow affect how I celebrate, live my faith. And we need to speak up for it. Guys, thanks for joining me. I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15. I got a big announcement. I'll save it for tomorrow, though. Tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great evening.